Hello, hello, welcome back. It's been a while. I meant to get to this sooner. In fact, I did get to this sooner. I recorded this multiple weeks ago at this point. I don't know how long it's been since the Pitfall Larry thing. At least you know how long it's been. I made a community post about it. I talked about it. I left a comment on that video. I made video day one when it came out because I was so motivated. And then my audio got messed up. So I'm here again. Yeah. So yeah, I'm back. Hello. Uh, I had to talk about this in a video format because I think LOL Crystal is. I mean, I talked about it before, right? Like, I like this LOL genuinely. I think it has a lot of potential, and I want to see it do well. So anytime anything happens with this LOL, I do want to put something out there and show credit where credit is due. And Pitfall Larry, I said it in the original recording. I didn't think that we would get a new video this soon, but we did. And it was Pitfall Larry who I joked around with my friends about how I love this character. He's so funny, and everyone hated the joke. And then he was the first character to get a moveset remake, so I won. Ha! Not only that, I think this video has been very well received, all things considered. Um, I do think, after the initial hype has kind of worn down, I think the benefit of having to like wait to re-record this has given me some time to reevaluate this video and understand there is still some problems with it, but rather than what I'm going to do what I did before, I'm going to give you all my positives first, and then we'll go into the negatives and where I still think things could be improved. So it's not like so front loaded or anything. So first things first, I want to just say real quick, the playlist was ordered. Thank you. It's a small thing, but it's like I said in the original video, the small touches really show that, I do see that you do care about LOL and what you do, that you did go back. I'll actually be the first to admit after I made that video, I would check like daily, whenever that playlist to see if you ever fixed it at all. Because I was like, come on, please do it, come on. And then when this video went live, I don't think you fixed it immediately, but you definitely fixed it afterwards. Because I saw it, and I was like, oh yes, thank you, you did fix it. And then someone got to me about it. They messaged me, hey, they fixed the playlist. I was like, yeah, I saw. So yeah, like I was looking out for that. Uh, and I just want to say, yeah, thank you for doing that. It means a lot to me, even though it's not my law. It does mean a lot to me because it shows you care. Um, Also, yeah. So this is a very weird case for a moveset remake because I thought we were gonna go in order from like what characters were shown originally. Instead, we started with Pitfall Larry. So Pitfall Larry, I think, was done because, well, first things first, he's a sprite character, so inherently he's a lot easier to work with, I would assume. But as we'll go into later, I kind of wonder how much that is the case when we get into the negatives. Uh, but also, I feel like Pitfall Larry was the character who had like such a nothing moveset. I feel like he could go just about anywhere in quality. So, yeah, but we're not going to start with the new video. I actually want to really quickly go back and show you. I'm going to be quick about this because, again, I just recorded this. I don't want to do this again. I have it sped up. So basically, nothing happened in the original video for like a whole minute and 30 seconds. Like nothing happens. We don't get anything about his character. He kind of disappears in the game. He appears in the real world. It's just very slow, and there's nothing. Um, the video remake just obviously it looks nicer, but we get a cool little like pixel overworld. It's a little weird. I'm not sure how much I like this art style, but it also kind of reminds me of Super Paper Mario. That pixel level. If you play it, you know what I'm talking about. And all the AVGN esque things like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde NPCs. Um, I like the little fog that shows up. Uh, And you get to see a lot of stuff in the background about what this character is like. He's in his office. He's got like all these. I didn't know he was close to these other like characters. This thing of his game. No business is going on, and apparently he goes to this old photo of his brother, who apparently is way more successful. Also, there was a whole Pitfall Larry cartoon that wasn't in the original moveset. Apparently, he's just more successful. Yeah, or at least these are being established as two separate characters. So we have a personality for this character. He's very stubborn. He has a wife. Blah 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 blah. Like, this is so much more in depth, and I will understand. I have this sped up a lot, and we're already like, this is like, for context, double the length of the original intro. And I've heard some people criticize that is just like, that's way too long. Like 3 minutes is like so long. I want to like put my foot down on something. Just because something is long also doesn't mean it's bad either. Like, I think especially for a remake of a moveset, I think it's better that we do take that extra time to establish, what is this character about? Especially since he was so nothing before. Like, I'm okay if you go a little bit further and just like take some time to add some little bit of melodrama, add some like some sad moments, and think, oh, he's hype, he got the invitation. Like the build up is good too. And I think the intro is sometimes it is a little bit too long in some places, but overall, I think I would rather have this over what it was originally. So that's my take. If you prefer super short intros, that's totally fine. I personally just think this intro is a lot better. Um, and also, we get the quick playstyle segment. He's still established to be like a kind of like, I mean, he didn't have a playstyle before, but he is meant to be a defensive zoner. And zoners aren't inherently the most exciting character, but it we'll get into it. Also, this intro is just better. The ladder's funny. Um, I like the flail. I think the flail is funny. I do think the flail is definitely funny. But I think what I like about the new moveset a lot more is already there's just a lot more like character. I mean, like the pitfall, like the flail was always there, but it was never in the moveset anywhere. So it's kind of good that it is the first thing in the moveset. It makes sense to be the neutral B. I mean, it is like it also like it uses the AVGN clip in an interesting way, and I think I like that the AVGN stuff is still referenced in this character because I mean I guess I don't ever watch AVGN, but it feels like people know Pitfall Larry a lot more because of the AVGN stuff. So I feel like it has to be there even a little bit. As long as you don't make that the whole character, that's good. And he thankfully is a lot more than just the AVGN clips, as we saw. Um, that's already better because like also now we have the side B, which is now his pistol. Originally, that was just his neutral B, and it was just called gun. So his neutral B was literally just he uses a gun. And eh, I'm glad that it's finally like in a side B. I feel like it works better here. He gets two variants of it. I think it works either way because I mean, okay, he has a very slow bullet. He has a quick bullet he can spam, and it makes sense. He's a zoner. He should be able to spam his projectiles. I actually like his other two special moves a lot more because they're actually they are just things from like the game and such. But he basically gets Seymour Skinner's like big butt Skinner balloon where he can kind of just put it forward. Also, scary. I don't like that. I still don't like this stage. But I like that he can choose to pop the balloon with his range stuff, and it inflicts more damage and knockback. So he has another projectile he can shoot out. Before, I think he literally just had his gun, and I think that was it. So he has two projectiles to mess around with, and the opponent can pop it, but they have to do it with long range moves, because if they do it with short range moves, it'll just pop, and they'll get hurt. So I think for most characters, this isn't a big deal, but it does mean that he can, mess around with his balloon a lot more. It's just there's ideas here. And then it gets better because he has the down B, which is a cool move. It's an explosive projectile that kind of bounces along the ground. Also, it's referencing the abandoned Super Pitfall 2 prototype, which again I didn't know existed. We're pulling through a lot of stuff that wasn't in the original moveset. This feels like a better encompassing moveset of Pitfall Larry as a character, and all his stuff, rather than just being from the AVGN special. But yeah, the dynamite bounces forward and then it pops. But he can also knock it back too pretty easily because I mean, yeah. So he has a lot of things he can toss out. Obviously, he can get hurt by it, but I like the idea that he's accident prone, where he can get hit by his own stuff. But also the balloon kind of plays around with this thing a lot more because like you could shoot the dynamite out, the opponent can knock it back, but then you can put the balloon up, and then it's kind of moving forward as well. And so now they have to be careful to get rid of the balloon and the dynamite without popping themselves, like with two explosives at the exact same time. And also, you can just throw the dynamite out and kick it back further yourself. You don't have to like use it in the middle of a fight. And then also, you can just spam the side B. It's a simple character. It's not meant to be super complicated, but again, there's already so much more going on here. Like compared to the original moveset, which was he has gun, he can fire gun. The side B has gold that isn't actually flashing gold. It's just sits there and you know it's a trap, but it's also another AVGN thing, so it's like whatever. Lyra goes nowhere. That was changed to be like more of a joke about his entrance, which I think is better. I think it works better like that. And the glitch clone, which look, this is my favorite special move in the original moveset, but it had to go. I have to. I hate to admit it, but it did have to go because like this is just like not an actual thing. It was literally just like a glitch from the EVGN thing. It's not like an actual thing to this character. So we got to be fair. I do think it'd be cool, you know, if you used it as alt colors. That's like all I would personally ask for. But other than that, you know, I think it had to go. Rest in peace, Jerry and Larry. And then also, I'll quickly show off this Final Smash. You know, I already showed it. I'm pretty sure in my original video. I think I did. I don't know, probably not. But it just literally goes across the screen once. It's very slow. It takes forever to start up. And then he comes back in just by falling down from the sky. Uh, Compared to before, where he kind of, I mean, compared to now, where it goes back and forth, and then the arrow slides up, like left and right up top. You can kind of aim it, and then it slams down, and then he comes back down with the rope this time. So it's just better. It's just objectively a better Final Smash. I like it a lot. Also, I want to quickly state before I forget about it. Uh, SpongeBob's little animation here when he gets up, I like that. I don't know what it is, but this little bit of detail there is very good. I do like it a lot. Um, and I want to really quickly iterate. Also, all this is good, by the way. I like the heady thing. Um, all the taunts are good, but I think this last taunt is personally my favorite for a lot of reasons. For starters, it is the last taunt you see. Also, the stage just looks a lot better in general. It's the last taunt you see, and I feel like it's just so good because it's just like he's literally holding out a crucifix and he's like just kind of shaking. This is very just this encapsulates this moveset as a whole, where this character just kind of feels like he has a personality now. Like we know what this character is, we know where he's from, we know a little bit more about his legacy, and he's not just a bunch of moves from referencing a YouTube video anymore. He is a lot of things, and he's not just a character. Also, he has like he's a little accident prone. He's very like scared. Like it's like charming. This character is a lot more charming now. I will say I really like it. This character desperately needed something, and I definitely think this moveset was overall a massive improvement for the character. And now we're gonna skip ahead a little bit to talk about. I don't need to talk about lore or anything. Two unrelated Pitfall area things. The DLC roster is officially a mainline roster. Thank you. I think that's just yeah. Thank you. I explained why I didn't like it. I'm glad they're just getting rid of the DLC thing and just making characters that yes they are just mainline roster. DLC is a silly term. Let's just not. Let's just get rid of it. And yeah. Uh, I saw that also these characters were cut. I personally don't feel bad at all. Aretana, I think she was like one of my lowest like ranked characters, so I'm happy to see her go personally. Minky Pie. I think these two personally, I think they actually had some kind of controversy, and that's why they're being removed. I believe so. Like, or maybe just like the creator didn't want. I think the creator didn't want them being used in like a video format or something. The creator's just being weird. So I think it's totally fine. You just don't want to like just not be involved with that because I mean, yeah, this is how it is. It means I probably won't be talking about this character in the middle. It's just one less character to talk about. And then Bendy didn't have a moveset, so I wasn't gonna talk about him anyway, and he wasn't on the tier list. Yeah, I do kind of feel like this was a step in the right direction. I do think LLC needed cuts. I think some characters just need to be cut because it's just too big of a roster to upkeep it, and some characters were just kind of like so bad, like they needed help. So this helps you redirect a lot of that energy towards other characters. Uh, yeah. So I think overall, like just that's like about everything. Is like all my good notes. I have a lot to say. I kind of rushed through it a lot, but that's because like I did a whole video on this already. And I just kind of want to like quickly explain why I like all of this. Also, yeah, I also want to say there wasn't much stunt in this moveset. Maybe it's just like because I haven't seen a lot of the later movesets yet. I've only seen like the first two parts of the tier list, but there was a lot and a lot and a lot of stun in LLC. So to kind of have that cut down and just not be anywhere in this moveset, thank you. I just think that's better. I think it's a this character just feels more refreshingly different in a healthier way instead of just being a big nothing burger. Unfortunately, now we do have to go into the bad stuff. Uh, I do still feel like LLC is very very slow at points. I think that it just kind of happens. Like let me go. I think it was right here. Yeah, right in this inspiration clip. I'm gonna put it on normal just to like show like the whole moveset is kind of slow in some points, but then there's just like this point which is just a very early LLC feeling moment where like nothing's happening. He's not shooting the bullet. I'm like, okay, when is he gonna shoot the bullet? Come on. Okay, you're 3 text boxes in, and now he shoots the bullet. That just kind of feels weird. It just feels kind of clunky. It just doesn't flow well. Like it just doesn't. It's just not really that great. Um, it's a small thing though. At the end of the day, I feel like sometimes some creators just have their style, and finding the right speed is hard. I do understand, so I'm not gonna get on you too much for it. But like yeah, again, I kind of have to at the same time list it off. Um, also, as I kind of shown there, the HUD still kind of has a tendency to kind of just choose when it wants to be on or when it doesn't want to be on. I'm not personally a big fan of like having the HUD not there all the time. It's also a very big HUD, by the way. Um, like it's very very big. Like that's bigger than these characters. It's so maybe that's why you don't have it up there. I do think it looks pretty. I like how the icon is like down in a little triangle there for the series. But I do think these could be resized a little bit. That's just my personal take. Um, Speaking of resizing, also, I'm going to bring up something a little strange. I don't know how many people have noticed this. But this was pointed out to me when I watched this moveset video again with a friend. Have you ever noticed that these character sprites are just a little weird? Specifically, Pitfall Larry's. So, it's not really a deal breaker, but it is something that I kind of just started to realize. Like, wait, hold on, this is strange. So, let me try and like. This is like a hard thing to explain. It's easier to understand. Like you're already like missing a lot with like character sprites specifically, but Pitfall Larry has a weird thing where he doesn't look completely normally pixelated. You know? All right, here we go. So yeah, uh, you can kind of see it here. Whenever I was making the thumbnail, like there's one end is clearly like more blurry. It's really weird. I don't know why it's like that. Like whereas the other end is like very cut off, and it's especially more prevalent in the moveset, especially like near the end when you get close-ups on these character sprites. Let me see here. Let me see here. Like right here especially, but even just like when he's talking with his like wife, you can see it's just a little odd. Even like even her, you can kind of see it's a little bit rounded off too, you know? So I don't know. I wish I could personally talk with Bawcks about like why Pitfall Larry is like this because his sprites are public. Like you can find them online very easily. You don't need to like crop them out from the video or something. So I started wondering, is it a problem where like the character itself is it just like a resizing issue? Because I remember I know some people whenever they resize and they do spray editors and stuff. It's a little weird. Sometimes things can turn out blurry if you don't use a nearest neighbor or all that stuff. I think even when you use nearest neighbor a lot, it can act a little funky. It's a it's an image editor thing. Like, you know, you kind of just have to know these things. It's a weird issue. I don't know why this happens, but it does still kind of lend to some weird issues. Like, cause you can see the briefcase there, where it's just kind of like cubicle, and then Pitfallari's kind of rounded off and blurry. It just doesn't look perfectly like split, like a sprite. It's very strange. And then at some points, he looks even like it's barely noticeable, like at all. Let me see. Where's like a good example of that? Like here, obviously, it's like very noticeable, but like, yeah, it just sticks out to me a lot here, and also like here, like it's barely noticeable. It's still barely noticeable, but then if you look at like the corners and like where kind of all the colors meet, you can see there's bumps or like missing holes. It looks strange. It looks weird. It sticks out a lot. It's a small thing, but it still kind of makes the character look a little weird, especially when they're close to the screen a lot. I'm sorry, I'm kind of also lingering on this a lot, but this is just a very big issue that I didn't notice when I first watched this. Um, and now, other than that, I will say I do still really feel like LLC should focus on remaking more characters because I feel like Piffalari was still done very well, but man, I still feel like this roster needs a lot more upkeep, especially since uh Chowder. Yeah. I'm saying this in the nicest way I possibly can. Uh this is a big character to tackle. And I still it's weird because I know I feel like Chowder might not seem like it, but Chowder is such like a very particular character in my head when I'm thinking about him that if a lot of things can go wrong, and I feel like you're still kind of just getting back into the flow with LOL. That I think maybe it would be better to refresh everyone first before taking on such a big character. Of course, it's completely up to you if you want to do that or not. But I mean, yeah, this is a big character. I can't help but being a little worried, and I don't want anyone to feel like to feel the pressure, feel stressed out or anything. That's why I encourage like you still have a lot to work on with your own characters you already have done. So like, there's no harm done by going and working on them for a bit first to kind of get back into the swing of things. Um, but yeah, I can't help but being feeling just a tiny bit nervous. So yeah, Pitfall Larry overall I think is just it's a resounding improvement. I think. I think this law is definitely this made me feel a lot more comfortable that law LLC is going in the right direction. Thank goodness. I knew this. I had faith this law is good. It can be good sometimes. Like there's diamonds in the rough, but also there's a lot of rough. There's a lot and a lot of rough. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah, uh congrats to Bawcks for finishing this. It definitely surprised me. Good luck with whatever you do next. I will say, if I had to re-rank Pitfall right now, which I probably will in the next video, I originally put him in so good, but after thinking out a little bit, maybe I put him in he's neat. Because maybe at the top of he's neat, because I still feel like there are problems with the set as a whole. As I said, like some of the blurriness, like some of the pacing issues. It's small stuff, but again, because this is like a moveset remake and it's coming so late into this law's lifespan, I still have to be a little bit harder on it. But I think overall it is just a massive improvement. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I think Pitfall Larry is pretty cool, and I hope you all look forward to the next part of LLC. I will get to it eventually, I promise. This is gonna be a very busy month. Don't be surprised. So yeah, bye bye.